Coming up on Network Africa, the official death toll from Guinea's oil explosion rises to 13. Egypt's Electoral Commission announces incumbent President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi as winner of last week's election. Plus, Nigerians take to the streets of Johannesburg to protest alleged intimidation and harassment in South Africa. Hello and welcome to the program today. I'm Layo Olarinde. We begin in Guinea, where the official death toll from an explosion at an oil terminal in the capital Conakry has risen to at least 13, with 178 others injured. Monday's blast at the West African nation's main oil terminal rocked the Kaloum administrative district in downtown Conakry early in the morning, blowing out the windows of nearby homes and forcing hundreds of people to flee for their lives. According to government officials, 89 of those injured have now returned home after treatment. The extent of the damage to the terminal remains unclear, even as an investigation is expected to be launched to determine the cause of explosion and any parties responsible. It's less than 24 hours to the Democratic Republic of Congo's election, and campaign rallies have ended across the country. During Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi's final rally in Kinshasa, he threatened to declare war on Rwanda. He was speaking in front of thousands of supporters, and Mr. Tshisekedi said from the first shot they fire, he's going to gather parliament in Congress because the constitution allows him to do so, and he will declare war on Rwanda. Rebel group M23's recent offensive in the country have sparked a diplomatic quarrel between DRC and neighboring Rwanda, which Congo and the UN experts accuse of backing the militia, but Rwanda has denied any involvement. President Tshisekedi faces off against more than 24 rivals in this general election that's set for December 20. His rivals include old foes such as Martin Fayulu, who came second in the disputed 2018 poll, and Nobel Peace Prize laureate Denis Mukwege. We'll have more on the election coming up in the DRC, but in the meantime, Egypt's incumbent president Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has now won the presidential election. The Electoral Commission in Egypt says President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has won a third term in office, gaining just under 90% of the vote in the election that was held last week. Well, the former army chief beat three low-profile candidates, with the runner-up securing only 4.5%. Mr. Sisi first became president in 2014, winning 97% of the vote. He won with the same margin share in 2018. Well, this victory means that he will be in power until 2029, when he is barred by the Constitution from running again. Well, it appears Libya now has a constitutional and legal framework for elections to take place. This was announced by the Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for Libya, Abdoulaye Bathily. He was speaking to the Security Council, saying that the framework is available for the first time since the elections failed in December 2021, and he's also urging stakeholders to build on what he calls an important achievement. Mr. Bathily further adds that the remaining politically contested issues in Libya can only be overcome through a political settlement among the main Libyan institutional stakeholders committing in good faith.
Libyan National Army, for the first time since the elections failed in December 2021, Libya has now a constitutional and legal framework for elections in place, considered technically implementable by the High National Electoral Commission. Now we need to build on this important achievement. The remaining politically contested issues can only be overcome through a political settlement among the main Libyan institutional stakeholders committing in good faith. To that effect, in November, I formally invited the heads of the 5 key institutions, the Presidential Council, the House of Representatives, the High Council of State, the Government of National Unity. Some Libyan leaders continue to drag their feet and do not for now show a decisive commitment to end the long-standing stalemate that has caused so much suffering for the ordinary Libyans. Electoral laws alone cannot make elections happen if relevant actors are not genuinely committed to their implementation.
Well, let's take you back to one of our major stories for today, the election expected in the DRC tomorrow. Well, members of the Congolese diaspora are expressing joy at being able to vote for the first time from abroad in the presidential and legislative elections on Wednesday. Well, many see it as a historic opportunity in what the Electoral Commission calls a pilot experience. Now, embassies in 5 countries, France, Belgium, South Africa, the United States, and Canada have been selected by the Electoral Commission, and they registered their nationals on the electoral list earlier this year. Well, we have joining us now for more discussions on the elections tomorrow is Dr. Kanumwangi Via. He's a DRC citizen and the president of the Congolese diaspora in Nigeria. He's also a medical director based in Abeokuta, Ogun State, here in Nigeria. Thank you, Dr. Via, for your time on the program.
Thank you very much, Theo. It's my pleasure.
Oh, well, I guess my first question to you would be, how come you are not at home to be able to vote?
That's a very nice question, Lyle. I could have really been, happy to be there in the country to go and then vote, which is a constitutional right for me to be there, and then to choose whichever candidate that I would like to vote. But nevertheless, most Congolese in the diaspora out of the country were giving, this time around, for the first time in the history of our election, they were given an historic opportunity, to vote in their respective countries. For example, in France, Congolese who are living in France, those who are living in Belgium, and then in Canada, United States, and in South Africa, they are going to vote for the first time. Those 5 countries were choosing. We are hoping who are living in Nigeria, that it could have been given us, also that opportunity to be able to vote here. We're able to, plead with the government, but since it's an experiment, they promise that in the next time to come, in the next elections, we will be able to be, part of the people that will vote. So we are waiting for another opportunity.
Indeed, I mean, the Electoral Commission says, it's a pilot experience for people who are in those 5 countries that we've both mentioned. But in the meantime, what do you think are the benefits of this to have on the elections? The benefits of citizens in diaspora, voting outside the country.
Yeah, a lot of benefits that I can count because being a diaspora, you know, you can compare, for example, me being in Nigeria, I can compare what is going on in the country, you know, in the country back there in Congo, and then what Nigerians are also doing. You know, the benefit is a lot. We understand what is going on better than those who are in the country. For example, I can tell you that during this campaign, most candidates were faced with the fact that they were talking about social issues. Social issues. That means they were not. They were thinking that poverty is only, or hardship is only the problem of Congolese. And then they keep on talking about, you know, the dollar has increased, but they don't know, you know, that here in Nigeria, for example, the dollar has, you know, increased, and then is a kind of situation that is all over in the world. So we have the perception globally on what is going on in the world. Then those who are in the country that did not go out. So the beneficial part of it is that it is still taking us to be, you know, again with our country. You know, you are still, you know, connected to the country in one way or the other, and then you are still participating positively in the affairs of the running of the countries. You know, it's a very good thing. You know that those who are in the diaspora now are given this mandate to be able to vote. So it's a very good development, very beneficial for the country.
All right, then let's talk about, you know, tomorrow's election. What are you hearing from home, you know, about Wednesday's vote, and as it concerns preparations and perhaps challenges and, you know, the readiness of the Electoral Commission and also the electorate?
I can say that from what I'm hearing from home, there are a lot of really positive things to talk about. You know, I can tell you that it wasn't easy first to get the president of the electoral body in Congo, which is the Senate. There was a lot of controversy. You know, the president came out from the civil society. But we thank God at the end, we're able to get a president. You know, 6 out of the 8 religious people, groups or churches that are supposed to elect the president, they were able to get a president. So the campaign itself started about a month ago, you know, on the 19th of November. And I can tell you that it started with having 2 people that we knew that they are going to emerge as opponents. You know, one side, Tshisekedi, which is the acting president, and then who is also a candidate for his own succession. And then the other side, you have Katumbi, Moise Katumbi, who has been the governor of, you know, one of the province, you know, the very good province, rich province in Congo, you know. And then along the line, there were a lot of challenges. The Senate, starting with the electorate body first. The electoral body, they needed about $1 billion to organize this election. And then kudos to the government of Congo, you know, DRC, because it's not easy to cough out $1 billion, you know, especially when they made the budget to be about $4 billion. You know, that's the entire country. They were only having about $4 billion as budget. So they were able, the government, they were able to raise the budget from $4 billion to about $16 billion. And then in the time they were facing security again, you know, war on the eastern part of the country, you know, that war that is imposed to us by Rwanda, and then it is there almost about 30 years. So with this picture, they were able to cough out $1 billion, you know, to be able to organize the election. Few weeks ago, the president of the electoral body was still asking for $300 million. And then, you know, showing as if they were not ready for the elections. So the opponents the opposition leaders who were campaigning, they took it against, you know, the Senate, taking, you know, asking that no, they should report the elections because they can see that they are not ready, that the electoral body was asking for so many things, asking for, you know, helicopter, for plane, you know, to convey the electoral kits, materials to various places. You know, Congo is a very big country. Yeah? If you don't know, Congo is about 3 times bigger than Nigeria, you know. So those challenges, you know, were completely put off. Yes.
Dr. Villa, indeed, a whole lot, you know, to talk about with regards to readiness and preparations, but we would see all of that tomorrow when the elections, you know, eventually happen, and I'm sure you would be monitoring. But thank you so much, Dr. Kanumwangi Villa, President of the Congolese in diaspora. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Welcome back to the program. In Johannesburg, South Africa, the Nigerian community organized a protest march reacting to the unfortunate death of Mr. Izoa Nat, who reportedly passed away while in custody at the Johannesburg Central Police Station. The demonstration also addressed concerns about the alleged intimidation and harassment of Nigerian businesses in the area. Our South African correspondent, Innocent Samosa, has more.
An angry group of Nigerian community took to the streets of Johannesburg holding placards, some reading "Nigerian Lives Matter," "No to Police Brutality," to name a few. This demonstration follows the recent death of Mr. Izoa Nat, who allegedly died while in custody. How long are you giving the police commissioner to respond? And if he doesn't respond in that time frame, what is the way forward?
In the memorandum that we're submitting, we're expecting an answer or investigation to be wrapped up or concluded as soon as possible, knowing that the family back home in Nigeria, they are mourning and they don't have any closure at yet. As we speak, the body is still in the mortuary. Autopsy has not yet been done. So as soon as we can hear from him, then we will be able to have closure to this matter. But if the time frame that we have specified, we didn't hear anything, then our legal desk will take it up.
Ruth Oyoro had first-hand experience with the brutality perpetrated by TV host Xolani Khumalo.
I don't have a wedding ring because my wedding ring was stolen from me. My charger was stolen. My AirPod was stolen. My perfume, my hand cream in my bag, they were all stolen. My money was stolen. My goods were destroyed. I am hurt. I am a human being. First, I'm a human. I'm an African. I'm a Nigerian. My life matters.
I want a proper investigation to be carried out, especially I feel nobody deserves to be mistreated. I think there are laws that are, everyone is protected by the law. As far as you are in South Africa, you're covered by the law of the land of South Africa.
Meanwhile, police says investigations into the death of Izoa Nat are at an advanced stage.
The investigation was launched a long time ago. It's in the progress. I think it will be told to those that open those cases if their cases are opened.
But how far?
I think we're in an advanced stage so that we can, if there's arrest made, they'll be made very soon.
The Consul General of Nigeria in Johannesburg, Mr. Andrew Edie, says majority of Nigerians are law-abiding and have the right to conduct their lives and businesses in peace.
Nigerians in South Africa are thriving. They're doing well. They're helping build the South African community, whether it's in science and technology, in the hospitals, in every sphere of life. Nigerians are contributing hugely to the advancement of the state of South Africa.
Well, the Nigerian community here, led by Nikasa, says no to brutality. Well, being a Nigerian is not a crime. And our attempt to get a comment from Mr. Xolani Khumalo was indeed unsuccessful. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Innocent Samosa, Channels Television News.
Telecoms experts in Ethiopia say foreign investor interest in Ethiopia's sector is cooling, pointing to a bumpy first 2 years operating in the country for Safaricom, the only company so far granted a license to compete with state-owned Ethio Telecom. Telecoms were once seen as the big prize of a drive to liberalize the economy of Ethiopia, Africa's second most populous country, with around 120 million people, launched after Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed took power in 2018. But legislative changes, recurring security problems, and concern about the government's commitment to opening up a tightly controlled economy to true competition are deterring possible investors.
If you look at just the macro scenario on the part of Ethiopia, the challenges they had in the different regions, so just the general political risk has potentially been heightened. And I think for any new entrant, they know, if they get into that market, it's certainly going to be a long-term play. We were always cautious about that market. We've seen other companies get to the market, and it's taken time to really gain traction. It's a big market and a big opportunity, but we were under no illusion that it was going to take some hard work to really gain the traction.
Ethiopia's military has awarded the head of Turkish drone company Bakia what has been described as a Medal of Honor for his assistance in boosting the country's air force during the 2-year civil war in Tigray. Ethiopia's army chief handed over the award to Haluk Baraktar during an annual air show in Bishoftu near the capital Addis Ababa. Armed drones are believed to have helped turn the tide in the civil war in the federal government's favor. The conflict ended in November last year after a peace deal was signed in South Africa. The award is said to be different from the National Medal of Honor, which is normally bestowed by the country's president. Nigerian fashion industry leader in the United Arab Emirates, Modupe Omonze, is promoting sustainability in the industry with a fashion show that challenges students to save with inspiration from artificial intelligence. Well, this is coming on the heels of the recent COP28 climate conference. The event is tagged Artificial Intelligence and Sustainable Textiles.
Riding on the sustainability wave following the recent COP28 conference in Dubai, Nigerian designer and founder of Runway Dubai, Modupe Omonze, stages another edition of the event tagged Artificial Intelligence and Sustainable Textiles.
So we have always told our students that that word sustainability can never be an overused word. Sustainability is simple, and we're trying to encourage them. Simplify your thoughts. Simplify your actions. So this is why we've gathered students, and we're trying to encourage them to infiltrate as leaders in the industry, as entrepreneurs, as creatives, to encourage other people, to encourage the young to continue to save. Saving is so simple to do. So this is how we've come on board to try to simplify the word sustainability and the actions for them.
Camera, lights, and action. The competition is on to see which fashion student will create the best design guided by the principles of sustainable fashion with inspiration from artificial intelligence.
Tonight is a competition about artificial intelligence and sustainable fashion. So we're merging the two together and trying to encourage students to be aware of technology in the fashion industry.
All sorts of fabrics, scraps, and other materials have been repurposed to deliver these beautiful creations.
The Fashion Sustainability Summit was launched by Runway Dubai in 2019. And since then, we have been the leaders in the fashion sustainability industry. We're trying to encourage students to know how to save more and to be entrepreneurial in their industry. So we are so happy that this is really infiltrating the whole of Dubai, not only in the fashion industry, the music industry, the film industry, and we're really excited about that.
The event also featured creative performances from resident entertainers. Runway Dubai, a leading fashion event in the country, has been running for 11 years.
And that's it on the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Layo Olarinde.